Basically, I'm going to record this for our internal quality and training purposes.
Not a problem,
So I guess your main question, I'm going to do a focused training. Your main question is regarding inventory assemblies and how they're deducted and all that. It's not quite. It's not quite Teapplix. It's more like QuickBooks. So I'm going to attempt to go through that, and I will attempt to show you this rather than talk a whole lot. One thing what I'm doing now is I'm kind of practically trying to disconnect. We use QuickBooks ourselves, and I'm trying to disconnect our production QuickBooks company file and link in a test company file so I can show you a little bit. What you see right now on the screen is a demo account. So basically, the first thing is to look at, from the Teapplix point of view, what happens. I don't know whether Susan showed you from within Teapplix. We have inventory, which is like products, and you also define them as combos. So have you seen those?
No, I have not.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Hold on. I'll wait till this page loads. Okay, so I don't know what these are examples. So this is 11112.
Yep.
Just take that as an example. You can make it a combo. This is the equivalent concept in Teapplix. And let's just say I saw 1112 underneath it. I have two of these, and I have 1113. Okay, so this is my combo item. Okay, if I define that, this becomes a combo. Now, in your case, you will be doing this in QuickBooks. Okay. QuickBooks has, in QuickBooks is the same thing. It's very similar things, I would say. Instead of combo, it's called an inventory assembly, and I'm going to kind of bring it up and show it.
Yeah, now I opened up my inventory assembly in QuickBooks. It looks pretty straightforward if that's all I'm doing. I'm assuming I could use the auction number or item number as the name of the assembly. And then it just looks like you just add in the individual parts and press assembly, right?
Yeah. It's nothing but selling kits. By the way, did I block the window? Do you see the whole? Let me just see.
No, I see the whole window. It's there.
Yeah, you see the whole.
Now I see QuickBooks.
You see QuickBooks. Okay, let's go to items. Yeah. Right. I'll make a random one. These are all sample things, and I make no claim that I'm familiar with any of the things. But I will say I'll make this will be the eBay, custom label.
Yeah, so I can use, let's say the auction number, the item number, 1122667888, whatever.
Right. Okay, let's make that 1126677288. Now this is not the item number. This is not the item number. This is, what we say typically is a custom label that is assigned on the listing. In the case of eBay, or in the case of Amazon, it's a seller SKU. Or if it's not, you can map it to one of these. It's just a name. And say, okay, this is 2 of this, quantities 2. We cannot do fractional. Okay, that's one thing. In QuickBooks, they could do, this is a 0.3 of these. We cannot do that.
I don't need to do that. It's all solid pieces. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. On eBay, you can't list half of something. So they have has, 3 of those, 2
Yep.
of these. So having done that, I've defined, I'm going to make an easier name for me to remember. So this is the, the lens part 1. So I tried to find it, it looks like I have a giant list here. Income, okay, fine. Merchandise sales. So this is that. Now, having said that, so the quantity, the way quantity works in QuickBooks normally. Okay. So now you say I have 0 of these, right? So actually, let me go. I'm going to walk you through this. I will enter a sales receipt and watch what happens if I enter a sales receipt. Okay. So I'll just say random customer, but the part is Lance, part 1, and I have 0. Okay, I don't have sufficiency denominator. Fine. I'm ordering 1 of them. Let's save and close. All right, fine. I need to give it tax field, so I have CA tax 0, save and close. So I made a thing, and it happens is this is -1, okay, because the quantity in QuickBooks doesn't automatically come from the piece parts. Okay, so what you need to do is, let's go back and show you the components of this. So if I edit them, unfortunately I picked 2 hard to find names, 3 fill and 4 in, something like that. Right. So the quantity for the 3 fill and the 4 in are all 0. So you know what? Let me adjust them a little bit. Enter invoice. Adjust quantity value on hand. So let's just say 3 fill. Quantity on hand, new quantity is 10. I think I have 10 of these. I think it will ask me for some kind of adjustment account. Let me do 4. Let's pretend we have 10, 20 of those. Save and close. So I have 10 of these. Notice I have an order, of land 1, but that does not adjust, these back down. This is a thing in QuickBooks, okay? It does not deduct these quantities. This is how QuickBooks works. Teapplix doesn't work like that. In Teapplix, if you have an order of, if Teapplix is cal quantity for you, if you have an order of Lance part 1, we don't keep a quantity number in here in Teapplix. We will automatically go, take out 3 of these and flows, or whatever the number that I set up.
So what you're telling me is, if I can stop here for a minute, if I build assemblies in QuickBooks, it's not going to adjust my real inventory in QuickBooks.
It does. So that's what I'm going to walk you. What I'm going to do is I'm walking you through how people manually do it. Once I do that, I could describe how T-Plex automatically do it. Notice what I did is, what T-Plex does is T-Plex automates things. But you first have to know how I'm going to hand enter the things, right? So on a customer, what we did is enter sales receipts, and we just enter sales receipt, right? So normally, in a normal order, you just enter, you type in, the customer's name and address, what's sold, and you're done. For an inventory assembly, what happens is you do 2. The first thing you do is you go to here and you go to these and you say, I want to build assembly. Okay. So I'm building Lance part 1, and I build 1 of them. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Oh, okay. So I build these, and how many do I build? Quantity to build, I will build 1, okay, and memo is the demo build. So this action, think of it, QuickBooks is designed predating e-commerce. It's designed for a factory, and the only way it understands a kit is somebody welded a piece to another piece, okay, and made a combo, and then they sell it, right? So that's the QuickBooks mindset. So it's to build first. When you build, this quantity goes up. I build 1. The other quantity, notice, this becomes 7, this becomes 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So what happens in QuickBooks is when you enter a transaction, is not sufficient just to enter a transaction. You have to do a build first for the quantity that's enough for that transaction, and then you enter the transaction. And your net result is you built one, and you sold it right away, and you net 0 on the lens part 1. This is what we like to see for the assembly to be 0, okay, at all times. And then when you have a transaction, what you do is you do a build, which deducts the piece parts, and then you enter a transaction that wipes out the availability of the build, right away. That's what we would like to see. And that's what Teapplix automate. When you click on that, automatically build assemblies. We will look at your transaction and say, oh, we need 1 assembly here. Okay, we're going to build 1, and then we're going to enter the transaction right away that eats that 1. And your numbers ends up all correct on all 3 sides. So that's, where did it go? That's this right here. So that is inventory assembly, kind of in the bare minimum. So, as a result of it, Teapplix is happy because we're reading the quantity that you're giving us, and we're saying, oh, you have 7 available of this, 18 available of that, and we automatically calculate the available for this. So we like to see this as 0. Now, if this is not 0, so normally we don't want you to build for no purpose. For example, I could still build here. I'm going to actually do it. Some people have this habit and say, oh, I just need to keep 3 handy. That's just how I like things. Okay. No, sorry, I can't build 3. Let's just build 2. It takes 3 of the 7 part. I can't do it, so let's just build. So now I have 2 of these, 1 that's left and 14 of this left. And this to Teapplix is not good because, now when we look at the quantity available on this part, which you're selling separate, I assume, we only got 1 available, and we don't like that because we really have 7, right? Because, 6 of them are eaten here.
Yeah,
so that's why we say don't normally do a build. Make all the quantity available, and we will do the build dynamically, so you don't have to do it, And the only time you do it is you got an order that's nothing to do with Teapplix and says, oh, I need 1 of these. You have to do a build to deduct, and then enter the transaction. So that's how assemblies work in QuickBooks. Of course, you don't have to in Teapplix. If Teapplix is the inventory master, you don't have to do this. But we're talking about QuickBooks as inventory master, right? So that's where all of this, enter into the equation for assembly. Any questions?
So let's go back to the point of Teapplix being the master.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I have just used Teapplix as the inventory master?
Okay. That's a good question. So what happens when you are inventory master? Okay, so let me just go over the concept, right? When you're inventory master, what happens is you define the product. That's, either in QuickBooks, either way, you define the product, right? The question becomes, where do you enter the quantity to net out? Because quantity is a live flying number, okay? The question becomes, where are you going to enter the quantity? Some people just say, of course, QuickBooks. I am going to, enter purchase orders. Where was that?
Right down. You got it. Purchase orders one right there. You got it.
Yeah. And why did I do that? Because come tax time, I need to know how much what's my cost of inventory, how am I going to account for this, right? So I want to enter purchase orders. I want to receive inventory. Once I have purchase orders, I want to have invoices, bills flying back and forth. I need to look at financials. Now, you can do that in Teapplix also. You're going to do that in Teapplix also. Actually, this shows loaded from QuickBooks because we're not entering purchase orders. We're just syncing them from QuickBooks. But if you set it to Teapplix as inventory master, you do a PO in Teapplix, or you do a physical count and directly enter it into Teapplix, which is good for people that don't like to go mess with QuickBooks. The bad part is if you already have QuickBooks and you need to file taxes, whatever you enter into Teapplix doesn't show up on your tax return.
I hear you.
Okay.
So can